Yahweh Shemi Shabbat Shemakakwadash, double honor to the elder apostles and elder bishops, the great millstone, even the elders that came before them that taught us the truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers up in the word of truth and the sincerity of the Holy Tabernacle of David. The elder Yahshua back with the WW3 Daily update. Shalom and salutations to you all. This is clickbait, attack on U.S. soil. They're talking about it. If you're pushing this, that means that America is going to attack itself on U.S. soil very soon with a false flag. So I'm going to play this. Above the ball.
دلتون میخواد بگید مرگ بر آمریکا. You can see this coming out in the last 24 to 48 hours. The chance of death to America. We're hearing death to Israel, death to Donald Trump, death to Benjamin Netanyahu. And in addition to that, we're also hearing that they are calling for attacks on U.S. soil. Today is July 5th, 2026. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest, and we had a little bit of technical difficulties. If you were joining me just a little while ago, this is take two, and we're going to get the news out one way or another, but we're going to go ahead and dive right in and get you caught up on the latest. As we're hearing that there has been a lot taking place in Tehran at the funeral starting yesterday, July 4th. While we were here celebrating in the United States our freedom, we're hearing that there have been calls and shouts for death to America, death to the United States, and attacks on U.S. soil. So let me go ahead and get you caught up on the latest. Do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe. Let's go ahead and take a look at the latest articles coming out so you can see it for yourself. Khamenei's mourners are chanting death to America as Trump gives Iran the week off, he said. Iranians are chanting death to America as crowds mourn Ayatollah Khamenei, whose nuclear quest brought war, and we're hearing that they are still pursuing a nuclear weapon. In fact, warnings coming out that they may already have a nuclear weapon. And take a look, I shared this with you a couple of days ago. What we're seeing coming out in the news in the last 24, 48 hours aligns with what we heard last week. Is take a look, Iranian hardliners demand that the death of the supreme leader be avenged on American soils.
All right, I want to stop right there, because as you can see, what does this mean? This means World War III. Does it not? Demands. Okay. Says Iran talks as hardliner demands dead Ayatollah Khamenei be avenged on American soil. This is a threat of war. Okay, let's get that real quick. That's for War and Rumors of War Tuesday, but here we are. Okay. Matthew 24 and 6 says what? Threats of war. And ye shall hear of wars and threats. This word? News, threats, reports, rumors, threats of wars. And you will hear of threats of wars. What is this? They head to Qatar for talks, for Iran talks as hardliner demands Khamenei be avenged on American soil. This is World War III. This is a threat to attack Babylon the Great by Iranian hardliners. Okay, tit for tat. They killed our beloved president, right? They want vengeance on American soil. That spells out World War III plainly.
This is no longer U.S. military assets in the region, U.S. military bases. This is American soil, President Trump, U.S. civilians, and U.S. cities in North America.
Okay, so what that means, for them to put that headline out, what does that mean? That means that something's going to happen in America, and Iran probably had nothing to do with it. It was either Netanyahu or it was Trump ordering a strike to get us into a larger war, to get the public opinion of the American people to go along with any war that, Iran just hit us, let's go get them. And the people that blew up these buildings are going to hear from us soon too. Remember that? 911? George W. Bush is standing on a pile of rubble outside the buildings that fell. He said, and the people that took down these buildings are going to hear us soon too. Well, who was that? You took down your own building, you went straight to Iraq. Right? Well, that's what this is. Right? Look at Netanyahu. You can say one moment, oh, we got to stop you from having, oh, well, you had one the whole time. Come on, man. Where are we at? We're clearly in the fog of war when you think you can say, well, the reason we went to war was to stop you from getting a bomb while we knew that you had one the whole time. Clearly doesn't make you, we could say anything you want to go conduct a genocide.
Now, this comes, as I shared with you, as soon as it had come out, you can see July 1st, Benjamin Netanyahu claims that he has saved Israel from destruction as Iran had already obtained an atomic bomb. We're hearing that information is being leaked out, that the reason why we went into this conflict, not to stop them, but to stop them from using a bomb that they already had acquired. Now, Benjamin Netanyahu's rivals are saying he is
absolutely lying.
Right, lying.
So what are we to believe? You can say whatever suits your purpose from one day to the next. Okay? You can say whatever you want to, but what do we see happening? We see political assassinations. Okay? So when you speak about things like, well, we want vengeance. Vengeance for what? For that assassination. That lets you know where we're actually at. What this is, right? This is the funeral. This is a big ass funeral for Khamenei. It looks like we're at World War III. These people want to fight. They want to avenge their beloved president. Okay? And they're ready to strike American soil. Let's see if we can find that in the scriptures. Bet we can. So what does that mean? We know it's going to happen. A portion of the land of the Assyrians and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. And shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. What does this mean? Okay. And then down here. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them and consume some. What is that? This is this. U.S. soil. This is that attack on U.S. soil. Look at it again. Started 28, 2nd Ezra 15:28. Behold, a horrible vision in the appearance thereof from the east, the Middle East, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Now we're dealing with the Arab nations here, the Arab nations. Then when you get down here, you're dealing with Iran. Also the Carmanians raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. Right here is talking about over there. Okay? Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is talking about those vassals, not vassals, but the Gulf states. Okay? Saudi Arabia, Qatar, so forth. Okay? Shall waste a portion of the land. The portion of the land of the Syrians being spoken of over here are the Gulf states. And that happened. Okay? When you get down here, where are we at? Down here is talking about this portion. See, this is a portion of the land of the Assyrians. Okay? So, that's the Gulf states. But over here, this is from the land of the Assyrians. Not a portion, but the actual place, which is Babylon the Great. So when we understand that this is talking about Babylon, right? This is talking about over there, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, United Arab Emirates, and all of that, UAE. But when you get down here, right? Let's read the whole thing. 31, and then shall, second is 13:31, not 13, 50. Second is 15:31, and then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves conspiring together in great power to persecute them, then these, BB and DJT, shall be troubled, bled, and keep silence to their power, and shall flee. They're running. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them and consume some of them, and in their host shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. That takes place here on American soil. So where are we today on July 5th? We're at war. Ask the Iranians who plan to attack on U.S. soil, whether that be the actual Iranians or whether that be Donald Trump sending up an EMP and blaming it on the Iranians so that they can go do what? Let me end right here. Revelation 11 and 14. This thing is not going nowhere. It's serious. That whole BB saying that they have a nuke, that just escalated. Now we're at the nuclear level. We're fighting a nuclear war at this point. Oh, well, they have a nuke, and so do we. Where are we at now? Okay? So any day now they could start busting off nukes. Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe has passed, behold. The third woe is coming surely. That's my wife showing me 144 here. We say call hello. But this is where we're at, okay? If you don't understand, you're in World War III and that's all there is left, you're going to die.